All right, good afternoon, traders. Hopefully, everyone is having a good day today. Market indices mixed today. Now, before I get into the show, I really do want to thank all my subscribers. I really do appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. Now, if you're not a subscriber and you happen to be watching the show, go ahead and do so. I really do think you're going to get a lot of valuable information from my technical analysis. So, as you know, we are going to go over the SPY. We are going to go over MARA, a stock that I've been highlighting. I did call investor relations, and I had a really good conversation with Jason from investor relations, and I do want to share what was said in our conversation. And then I will give you those three stocks that I think are technically setting up to move higher in the next couple of days. All right, with that, let's get into the SPY. All right, so as you know, about 6-7 trading days ago, we made that 52-week high, and then we had gap down. We tested this 50-day moving average, and then since hitting that 50-day moving average, we have been on this really nice rally. We're back above that 10 and that midpoint Bollinger Band, and we are very close back to this 52-week high. So what for tomorrow? Well, it really depends on how we gap. Now, if we gap and we start taking out today's high tomorrow, there's a high probability that we are going to test and break above this 385.85. Now, if we were to gap lower and then move below this midpoint Bollinger Band, guys, be very careful. I really do think we will retest this 50-day moving average, and then if that doesn't hold, we will go probably, most likely, all the way down to this Fibonacci retracement level of 346. Okay, so again, watch those key levels, see how we gap, see how we move, and make sure to have a little bit of money on the sidelines, so when we do pull back, to have some cash to put some money back to work. All right, with that, let's go over MARA. I did have a really nice conversation about Marathon with Jason from Investor Relations. He had shared some information with me, which I'd like to share with my subscribers. So if anyone does know, MARA is a Bitcoin miner based out of Montana. They have a nice partnership with Beowulf Energy, which is a private energy company that owns 3 million shares of Marathon, and they have really favorable energy rates because of that partnership. So mining Bitcoin is very, very lucrative, to say the least. In fact, it costs them about $4,200 to $4,300 a Bitcoin to mine. Now, if anyone doesn't know about Bitcoin or would like a little more information, I highly recommend typing in Michael Saylor. He is the CEO of MSTR. He has a couple of great interviews out on YouTube about where he thinks Bitcoin can go, and I highly recommend, if you're not a fan of Bitcoin or not too familiar what the implications of Bitcoin are, I would recommend checking those videos out. So real quickly, again, Marathon, I think they're doing a lot of the right things. They have $400 million in cash and cash equivalents. They have very low personnel. They've outsourced their maintenance, their bookkeeping. So, I mean, this company, if Bitcoin could stay at $30,000 a coin, this company, once all their rigs are fully deployed, which should be in Q1 of next year, will be making a lot of money. Okay, check it out. If you're not in it, I highly recommend, if you are a believer in Bitcoin, to take a position in MARA. I really do think this is a great way to play that whole space. Okay, so technically, let's check it out. As you know, we made that 52-week high. We did come back down and retraced all the way to this midpoint Bollinger Band, and now it looks like we're back to, at the very least, see if we can take out that 28.37 from back here from early January. Okay, so if you're not in the name and you're thinking about taking a position, I would either play it one of two ways. I would either take a half a position, either tomorrow or the next day, and then buy it on the way up once we break above this 52-week high, or buy it tomorrow, and then if we can get a pullback all the way down to this 10 SMA at some point, I would see if we can defend that line. And that's the way I would play MARA. All right, with that, let's go into the three stocks that I think are setting up real nicely going into tomorrow. First one's going to be XERS, a little biotech company. So as you know, as you can see, the 10 is above the 50, the 50 is above the 200. We're above the value area high. We are not too far off that 52-week high. Very little shares traded above us in XERS at this point. So any little catalyst, any little bit of volume should send this stock going a lot higher. In fact, The setup of this stock reminds me of AVXL, which I was in up until today, and I did sell. I did highlight this a few days ago, and if you got in it, it did go up to 1098. And if you're looking at it in after hours trading, it did go all the way to $18.50 in after hours trading. So I do think XERS, not look, it's not going to pop to $18, $19 like AVXL, but there is that probability and possibility once we start getting above that 716. This one we'll see a really nice move to the upside. Okay, that is XERS. Be a buyer, but make sure if you do get in, make sure you use that 10 SMA all the way down here at 542 as your stop price. Okay, XERS. Second stock on the list for tomorrow that looks really good, more of a swing trade, is KNDI. KNDI, ever since that news that came out on the 28th of January, made that nice little high. And then since then, it's pulled back and retraced all the way back down to this midpoint Bollinger Band. It did take out yesterday's high today, and which is a good move. So again, for tomorrow, as you can see, that 10 will be crossing that 50. So we will have that 10 over the 50 and that 50 over that 200-day moving average, which we need for that nice bullish chart. If you do get in this name, I would either buy it on a small pullback or down to that 845, 850 range, or on a breakout of today's high. Now, if you do get into the stock, make sure you have to use that midpoint Bollinger Band right down here as your stop price, which happens to be at $8.40. Okay. Again, if you get in it right in the morning, and then use $8.40 as your stop. Okay. So you're actually risking maybe 30, 40 cents at max. Last stock on the list that looks really good going into tomorrow is going to be QS. This is a battery maker. Ever since that 52-week high of $132, this stock has done nothing but go down. It's held at 10 on the way down. Now, this is the first time in a very long time that it did gap up on good volume and cross that 10 SMA. So to me, this is setting up nicely. Maybe shorts are capitulating and starting to cover their position, or new money is being put to work. Either way, we had a nice move today of almost 10% on really good volume. So this is the way to play this one for tomorrow. Again, I do want to show you that 513 EMA chart real quickly. Here we go. So as you know, I usually like to play when the 5 is above that, the 5 EMA is above the 13. The 5 is below that 13 EMA, which is extremely bearish sign. But with today's action and that 5 EMA for the first time in a very, very long time, crossing and closing above that 5 EMA, it does look like this can be a reversal, if you will. So again, we have that gap up, the close above that 5 EMA. It touched that 13A. So for tomorrow, your risk reward setup is going to be really, really defined and extremely tight. This way, if we are right, this one's going to be a big winner for us. Again, so for tomorrow, make sure you buy this at the open. Don't buy it if it's up, 4, 5, 6%. If it opens pretty much flat or up $1, I would be a buyer of this stock. I will be a buyer of the stock, and then use this 5 EMA right down here as my stop out, which happens to be 45.01. So therefore, hopefully you're only going to be risking $2 on a $46, $47 stock, which is actually a really nice risk reward setup in QS. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Hopefully everyone had a great trading day. My name is Eric. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down below, and I'll make sure to get right back to you with any questions you may have. Now, if you like the show, I want to thank you. If you like the show, become a subscriber. If you're not, I really do think you're going to get a lot of valuable information from my technical setups. I give you the ins, why we're getting in, our stop prices. I try to, put this all together in a way that it all makes sense. All right, everyone, have a great evening. We will see you tomorrow after the close. And remember, trade smart and be safe.